Hey everybody, Dr. Sanderson here. Welcome to our third unit, which is my personal favorite social media platform, and that's Twitter. So Twitter, in the required readings, I want you to kind of get a sense for the capabilities and the tools that Twitter offers businesses. In particular, there's some really targeted and focused ways that you can market your posts to users. So you can do that by gender, you can do that by keywords that people put into Twitter, you can do that by geographic location. So there's some really kind of robust ways that Twitter allows businesses to reach people. So definitely make sure you kind of get familiar with that. Because you could very well be asked, hey, we need a Twitter presence and we need to do Twitter ads, and how do we do that? And those resources will help you kind of get a sense for what that would look like and what you would do. Another thing I think where Twitter really adds some value is in the real-time element. So, for the longest time, Twitter was, and I would argue still is, the place people go when they want immediate news. So of all the social media platforms, I think Snapchat is maybe challenging that a bit now, though. Twitter's the place where you go when you want breaking news, real-time information. So when crises happen, you'll see Twitter being used to relay information. When there's public safety issues, Twitter will be used to get information out. And I think for that reason, that it's the place people go when they're looking for quick information, and also the constraints you have in terms of just 140 characters makes it easy to get really short, kind of precise pieces of information out there. One other thing that I want you to think about as well is how to use hashtags. So hashtags are really great ways to not only allow people to search for particular content, but from the company side, if you can create really unique and creative hashtags, it's a great way to get buzz around your company, get people talking about your company, and invite people into conversations. What our focus is going to be in the discussion forum this week, which is your only assignment, is to be looking at Twitter as a customer service tool. And again, that relates back to kind of the real-time element that Twitter has. So when people have issues, especially in the travel and tourism industry, so people, they don't really call 800 numbers anymore. When they have an issue like their flight's delayed or their room's not ready or their car rental's not ready, what do? They go to Twitter. And so you're going to look at two examples, both from the airline industry, which is, I would say, probably the industry that uses it the most or is the most visible for customer service. You're going to look at JetBlue and British Airways and kind of just compare and contrast how they handle the customer service and then what you can learn from that. So I'll look forward to your thoughts on that in the discussion forum. Just remember that your initial post is due by Thursday and your 2 response posts are due by Sunday. And one other thing I'd like you to think about as well for Twitter, this will kind of come up later in the course, but Twitter is a really valuable professional networking tool. And I'll be tweeting out some things about that during this week using the course hashtag. But no matter what industry you want to work in, there's a group of people who are on Twitter who are doing professional development and kind of sharing best practices and questions and those sorts of things. So it's a really good place to get to meet people. And you'd be surprised at how many professionals are really willing to mentor and talk to students who are interested in that profession. So I would encourage you to do some searching on Twitter and look for people who work in jobs that you would want to work in one day, and maybe think about trying to connect with them and jump into some conversations. So that's our that's Twitter for this week. I'm excited to see what you think about Twitter and customer service, and I will talk to you soon.